I'm Jim with Pour the Juice, and I'm serious. It is a sad, sad day for me. I'm late to things. I'll get to that in just a second. If you watched my first couple of videos, in one of them, I mentioned my love for Bardstown. Um, and if you look at the title of the video, you know they upset me. But it's not entirely their fault. Like I said, I'm a little bit late to the game, so let me explain why. Um, This bottle, the Bardstown Fusion Series number 8, is one of my favorite bottles that I've ever received as a gift. And that's because it's one of the first bottles that my wife ever purchased for me. She was then my fiance. And it kind of got me into blended whiskeys. Up until that point, I had tried blended scotches and maybe some other blends, and was never really wowed until this Bardstown Bourbon Company Fusion Series number 8. And I really thought it was special. It's a great bottle. And so since then, I had seen a 9. I picked up the 9. I saw a 7. I think I may have passed on that. And I was patiently awaiting number 10 to come out. And I've been patiently waiting for number 10 for over a year now. And I keep checking the Bardstown Bourbon Company website to see when it's going to come out. And where I live, we didn't even get Bardstown for up until, a few months ago. So I only saw them when I went out of state, and didn't really expect to see much here. But when it did land here, it was just the Origin series. It didn't come with the Fusion. The fancier bottles, Discovery series, weren't part of that either. And they only come out at certain times during the year anyway. But I've been thinking, where's the Fusion series? And if you don't know, the Fusion series, all it is kind of like a Discovery Junior. It's a blend using their own juice, as well as some older whiskeys. For instance, in number 8, 30% of this is a 12-year-old Kentucky whiskey. That Kentucky whiskey is rumored to be Wild Turkey. I don't know for sure. And then it has 2 separate 4 years as the remaining. That's their high rye and their low rye, I guess. Or high malted barley, one of them. Both 4-year whiskeys. So it's 2 4-year whiskeys and then 30% of a 12-year from Kentucky in the 8. Back to my story. So today I was sitting there thinking about it, and it hit me. Not physically, but I was sitting there and I thought, I bet you it was discontinued. Why haven't I seen it? It must be discontinued. So I Googled it. Unfortunately, I was right. These were discontinued. And supposedly they were discontinued, so Bardstown could come out with their Origin series. And I don't know how I feel about that. I love this bottle. The 9's pretty good too. I have the 9 right over here. And so what I'm thinking about for this video is doing a blind to see if the Origin series is up to snuff with the Fusion series, because I love the Fusion series so much. I love Bardstown so much. I'm not really that mad. I'm just a little upset. I wish I could get my hands on more of these, more on any of them. I've only ever tried, I think I tried the 7, the 8, and the 9. Would have loved to try the first 6. But this will have to do. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pour these right now, and I also have my trusty, I think these are called aged in oak or aged in ore or something like that, little rings. They have the letter on one side and they have their symbol on the other. This one is A. I have the A facing down. And in this case, the A will be Fusion Series 8. The B will be Fusion Series 9, which similarly has 12-year Kentucky bourbon in it, 30%, same number. But this one has a little bit of their wheated mash bill as opposed to their high and low rye. Try to match that up. Oh God, I'm spilling. I'm sorry, Bardstown. Nobody wants to get the BBC juice on their table. All right. In C, it already smells so good over here. In C, we're going to do the Origin. This is their Bottled and Bond. This is going to be the highest proof, of course, 100 proof Bottled and Bond. This is a 6-year, their bourbon, 6-year. Just so you know as well, the other two proofs are 95.5 and 96.8. And then for funsies, we're going to throw a little Shanks in the last one. This is in D. And I want to do this because Shanks is a $120, $140 bottle. It's a little less proofy at 91.2 proof on this 2023 release. But I do think the Bardstown will give it a run for its money. I don't know if all of them will, but some of them will. I already forget which ones are which order, but let's just keep twisting around here until I'm confident that you're confident that I don't know what's what. I have no idea. All right. Can't tell by looking at them either, so I can actually look at the whiskey this time, which is nice. And I forgot my water cup over there. Again, as always. That's all right. All right, I'm going to start right to left, get this going. It smells good. Getting vanilla. And that's one of the things I remember about these Fusion series is high vanilla and white sugar, just very pleasant. Some oak, some cherry. So I just got off this cherry. A little bit of citrus. It's good. A little fruit in there too. Other than citrus, other than cherry. I guess stone fruit. Very good. This one is lacking on the nose a little bit compared to the last one. High vanilla. Not nearly as much fruit. It's a lot of candied vanilla. That kind of falls off a cliff. Left with a little bit of bitterness there. It's good though. I've mentioned before how much I love barrel. Wow, this smells fantastic. Wow. This is jumping out of the glass. I don't even know what that is. Holy. I mentioned I love barrel. as a blender. Um, I do love Bardstown Bourbon Company too. Everything that they have. I don't have much of their stuff as much as I do barrel, but everything I do have theirs I thoroughly enjoy. Yeah. Has a little bit of licorice in there. Very oaky compared to the others. Earthy, a little bit earthy. Lots of oak. More enjoyable to me. I wish it had a little bit less of the bitter oakiness, but here we are. It's okay. This is tough to get on the nose as well. Maybe it's because the last one was so potent. It's light, it's sweet. I would say there's not much to that. A little bit of the vanilla. It's tough for me to get much out of that. I'm going to go back through from my left to my right, your right to your left. But I do want to sit here for at least a minute, let my palate come back to normal. And I want to explain a little bit more on why I added Shanks to this lineup. I really enjoy Shanks. I really enjoy all Michter's products. But it is something I feel like is a little bit overpriced. And part of my goal with this channel is to bring more clarity to those overpriced bottles that I have access to for whoever may watch this. I've bought 2 Shanks at around that $120 mark. To me, they're more like $60 or $80 bottles. And to me, Bardstown is shoots a little bit higher than what their MSRP is. I think the Fusion series was around $50 MSRP, and the Origins I think is like $40. And both are fantastic. So for me, to try to prove that one is a little overpriced and one might be a better value, I should compare them to each other and see if I'm right or wrong. There's a good chance I'm wrong, and that's great too, because then it's me looking at myself and what biases I may have, but I doubt that I'm wrong on this one. So far, these are very close to each other. I don't know what whiskeys they are. This is the little bit fruity. This is the more earthy. This one seems like it could be a higher proof, so maybe it's the Origins in this glass. We'll see. I'm going to go back through now and see what I think. It's tough to get anything on this one. A little bit of brown sugar. It's sweet. It's very pleasant. Has a little bit of depth, but it's not much. If somebody gave me that and was like, it's a $50 pour, I'd say that's a $50 pour. So if this is one of those Fusion Series bottles that was $50, I'd say it's right on the money there. Yeah. I'm shaking everything. Let's move on to the next one. It's another one. It's tough. Tough to get anything on the nose. My Fusion Series bottles, they've been open for a while too, so not that I'm making excuses for them, but I know the Fusion 8 that I have has been open for probably 2 years now. Better. A little bit medicinal cherry in there with the vanilla that is there. A little bit of candy. So far, I like what I've done. Getting oak now too. This is last place by far for me, going off these two. And these should be better than what those were, so we'll see. Yeah, this is jumping out of the glass. That's crazy. I hope I'm wrong. I hope this is Origins or Shanks. I really came into this thinking the Fusion series was going to knock everything's socks off because I enjoyed those so much when I first opened them. But I don't know. Yeah, that's good. I have a feeling that's going to be Shanks. I get like, there's definitely like some brown sugars, like burnt brown sugar, burnt caramel, maybe. There is some vanilla, but it's deep and dark in there. I don't know if I get any fruit on that at all. It's just a little earthy sugar, burnt sugars, maybe butterscotch. I don't know. Let's go to the last one. All right. Very good. I do get that fruit. This is tough. I'll go straight into this one. Very tough. Put those to the side. Those are definitely last place. I don't know about these two. Let's get to this point. I wish I had my water. That's all right. If you're enjoying this video, please like it. Please subscribe if you've seen other of my videos and you enjoy those too. I try to put out 3 per week. Sometimes life gets in the way, but I'm doing my best to put out 3 Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I use these a lot. I'm not sponsored or anything like that. I have like 25 subs, so definitely not sponsored. It's just easier for me to use those. All right, I'm settled. It's gonna be tough. This is the order. So last place. It's gonna be fun. Last place is Fusion Series 9. A little surprising. I enjoy the 8 more than I like the 9. Previously, at least. Be funny if this was just the 8. It's not. This is C. This is Origins. So, Bardstown Bourbon Company. I know at least one of the Fusion series I enjoy more than your Origin series bourbon. Please bring it back. They're fun. They allow people to get into blending at a cheaper price. I'm not going to tell you how to do your jobs because you do them pretty damn well, but I think you should bring it back. All right. In second place, Shanks. Which means first place, Bardstown Bourbon Company Fusion Series number 8. Told you I love that bottle. To be quite honest, these weren't all that far apart from each other. Fusion Series 9 was probably the furthest apart from the group. I could have went either way up until the end when I try these right next to each other, and it's the earthiness of the Shanks that kind of doesn't let it get too far against the fruitiness that comes through on the Fusion 8. But the Origins wasn't that far off either. Like I said, this is the furthest one out, and then it was kind of a top 3 for me going into this tasting. But what it does tell me, and it's just me, it's my opinion, some of these allocated bottles, the highly sought after, the high priced bottles just aren't worth it. To me. Now, like I said, this one isn't available anymore, but there's other bottles like it. Not like it, but other great $50 bottles that probably match up pretty well against this Shanks for around the same proof. I think they're like 4 proof away from each other. Anyway, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Cheers.